Alright, I'm Cikgu Natasha. Okay, so I'll be talking about SPM campaign for subjects mathematics. So please be ready, not only your calculator, but your brain, yourself, for the techniques of answering mathematics paper 1 and paper 2 SPM 2022. Hi, we are back. Okay, are you still with me? Okay, don't fall asleep yet, please. I need you as you need me. Okay, all right, so let's continue. Okay, what are the don'ts or something that you cannot do or try to avoid in answering paper 1 maths? Okay, let's do it very quickly. All right, do not spend too long for a question. This is what I told you. If you think that one particular question, you keep looking at it and you already entered your Alice in Wonderland area, a region, keep thinking for more than 1 minute, it's a sign already. Actually, no need to think about 1 minute. Okay, after 30 seconds, you look at the question, you still have no idea what is happening, what you need to do, what is the first step. Skip that question, move to the next question, because that is actually the main reason why most of you couldn't really spend 1 hour 30 minutes to answer all the 40 objective questions. Okay, that is where you started to waste your time. Okay, another tips is try to spend 30 seconds at most. So I told you just now, if you can think of the solution, move on. Please go to the next question. Alright, next. Try eliminating the wrong answer. This is also another thing that you can do. Eliminate the wrong answer, obviously, rather than 4 questions, 4 answers, A, B, C, D. You can try to remove 1 by 1 if you know. Okay? Why it's very good? This technique is very good. Why? Because it's to increase the probability in getting the correct answer. Okay, out of 1/4 probability, now it's going to be only 1/2. Okay? Alright, next. We move to the next part. It's quite important part as well. We go for the almost, okay, the most important things, which is the answering tips for paper 2. Where paper 2, they consist a lot of marks. Okay, it's 100 marks and it's actually more than paper 1. That means you need to pay more attention in terms of the steps, formula and working. Because paper 1, there is no working needed to be shown. You write down whatever working, as long as you darken the correct answer, that's it. You got it, either 0 or 1. But for paper 2, okay, let's take a look in a very simplified version, all the 6 steps now. I put here reasonable time. So which means you need to start to figure out your time management for every single section. So don't spend so much for part A. Let it be only 1 hour. More than that, move on to section B. Section B and section A, 1 hour each. Okay? And section C, the remaining 30 minutes. Because for paper 2, only 2 hours and 30 minutes paper. So go to part A, 1 hour. Part B, 1 hour. Part C, 30 minutes. Settle. Cannot do part B, more than 1 hour already. Move on to the next question. Point number 2. I focus on the words weaker topics. That means you must focus on your weaker topics. Now we are not focusing on the spot or targeted topics. Okay, I told you KSSM is a bit scarier compared to KBSM. So go to weaker topics. And another tips to check whether this topic is my weaker topics or not. What you can do is you put the ranking or you put the rate. That's how you always watch movie and then you put the movie rating, right? It's 3/5 star or whatever star. Now you put the same things to every single topic in the mathematics syllabus. For example, let's say you think that indices is quite difficult for you, you put that 1 star. Then you know when you need to go back to the books, you check the topics, oh, this is the 1 star topic. That means I need to pay more attention. The 5 star topic, I need to just maybe study surface because I got to know a lot already. I am very pro already with this topic. Okay. Point number 3, what you can do is, this is something I always tell my students, be familiar with the mathematical formula in the formula list provided in SPM. Because when you look at the SPM formula, you go back to paper SPM 2021, SPM 2022, they will be giving you a list of formula, right, in the first few sheets in front. So check which formula is given, which topic where the formula is given, so that you don't have to waste your memory, your brain storage to memorize all the weird formula, but actually it is given. And automatically, it won't waste so much of time because you know, oh, this formula has been given. So straight away, I know where is it located. Okay, page 2, under algebra, and then I write down the formula. No need to figure out what is the formula without realizing it's actually given. Okay, so you have to categorize whether you should identify the formula, whether it's given or it should be memorized. Okay, tips number 4. Understand the questions. This is something that I know is quite difficult because sometimes you don't really understand the question because it started here. You do not read the question properly. You thought that only first sentence is the keywords, but you never know actually the keyword is the fourth sentences. Okay, so read the question because I know my students and also happens to you guys also, you don't like long questions, but in maths we need that long questions, right? And some of the questions with a very, very long question, sometimes they don't give you any stimulus. What is stimulus? It's a drawing. It's actually the photo. It's a diagram, okay? Or any things that can help you to understand the questions better. So let's say they give you some stimulus, like this graph, like the diagram of the triangle, okay, and everything. You can jot down anything on that, okay? What you can do, you maybe can, if they don't shade the region for you, you have to shade the region. Okay, if you don't draw the triangle, and you think you need another extra line to understand better that question, you will draw on your own line. You can add on, you can change, you may add on another drawing so that it will be a helpful information that will lead you to the correct working. Okay, next, for the quadratic equations, this is something that I want you to remember. Quadratic equation is a favorite questions, okay? Factorization steps, okay, the two brackets before you get to the answer, x1 equals to what, x2 equals to what, these two must be shown because there is a 1 mark there, k1, okay, it's very important step, okay. Next, for geometrical and circle chapter, okay, for example, the volume of the cube, volume of the cylinder, or calculation of the length of arc, the area of sector, it must be shown. Don't do the working on the diagram. But when they give you the diagram or the stimulus, you can jot down the length, you can label accordingly. But when you are about to do the working, please do it in the answer space accordingly. Alright, if not, you will make the examiner suffer, and that's where you start to lose your marks. Alright, next, you must simplify your final answer. This is something that happened recently in the SPM Trial Negeri Sembilan. When I was marking some of my students' paper, I emphasized this to them, where most of them, they just left their answers like this. It is correct, but mathematically or technically, we cannot accept it because we always believe in maths, you have to give the simplified version. If you just leave your answer like this, it means that your working is not finalized yet. Okay, so be careful with that. Okay, next. Our sport topics. I don't really say it's a sport topics, okay? I just say that this is kind of topics that you need to pay a little bit more attention compared to others. Why? Because the marks allocated usually for this topic is big. And they need more work and more steps needed, more procedure needed in order to get marks. So this is something that you need to pay more attention, I think. Yeah, you should. Okay. Take a look at the first topic. We need to pay more attention on graph of functions. If I'm not mistaken, in my analysis just now, graph of functions were not really out in SPM 2021. So we will be seeing it whether it's in 2023. You need to make sure the x and y axis is drawn according to the uniform scale. And they are given in the question. Please don't use your own scale. Please, it happens a few times, okay? My actual experience. Don't do it. Use the uniform scale. Read the vertical and horizontal scale properly. Please plot all the points correctly. This is where your coordinates knowledge or lesson is very important. If you don't really do well for coordinates, plotting the points will be a big trouble. And this is something I need to emphasize when you are drawing graph of function is always free hand. So when it's freehand, please make sure it's a one smooth curve. I can say smooth and only once. So if you need to erase some part, erase properly until it's fully disappear, then redraw it nicely. Do not have this kind of line shading, no such thing. This is not art class. And it should be accurate and once, okay? No shading, no thickening of lines anywhere, okay? So it's just you erase one more time and you redo, Okay, or you can use that kind of, we call as flexible ruler, up to you, as long as you produce the smooth curve. Next topic, plants and elevation. This is where you can get more marks. Please do not sketch, because this is not plants and elevation in art class where you can sketch. It's an accurate drawing of maths lesson. So when you draw, you need to follow the given scale. This is the serious problem. If you don't follow the given scale, we will deduct your marks. Okay. Length accuracy, we allow plus minus 0.2. That means, let's say it's 4 cm. When we measure your plants or elevation drawing, we allow 4.1, 4.2, or we allow 3.8 or 3.9. But I think the safest one is always plus minus 0.1. Okay. Or the best one is always make sure it's accurate lah, okay? Because you're a math student, take the ruler, measure it properly, get a proper ruler, okay? Same goes to angle accuracy. We allow only plus minus 1 degree. If let's say you need to draw 80 degree, okay, so we allow 79 degree, we allow 80 degree, or we only allow maximum 81 degree. That is the meaning of plus and minus. And again, same goes to graph or functions, no overlapping lines or no thicker line. It should be just a straight line, and it must be accurate and no sketching. Okay, next, transformation. This is what I told you just now, where coordinate is very important. For example, if the question is asking about transformation, the first technique of answering is the image coordinate must be stated in the form of coordinate, which means x, y, not in the column matrix. What is the column matrix? X, Y. This is wrong, because this is only for translation. If it's nothing to do with translation, it's just stating the coordinate of the image. This is how you should do coordinates techniques of writing. Okay. If you do reflection, you must have to have axis of reflection. If you're doing translation, it must be written in the column matrix. If you're doing rotation, you must have all these three basics information. You have to have the angle, you have to have the direction, you have to have the center of rotation. Last but not least, if you're doing enlargement, you must write the scale factor, and the scale factor must be in numeric, means in number. Okay, scale factor 2, scale factor 1/2, not in the ratio, which means not in the 1:2. This one wrong. Okay, it must be 1/2. Or in number, scale factor, which is k equals to 3. And they should be the center of enlargement. If not, you won't get enough mark. Alright. Last but not least, another last topic that you need to pay a little bit more attention is measure of dispersion. Because this you learn since Form 1, the stem and plot leaf, and now you go to dot plots. So measure of dispersion, you need to learn huge topic in Form 4, Form 5. Why? Because Form 4 you need to learn about ungrouped data. Form 5 you need to learn about group data. Okay, another reminders. Okay, number 1, frequency must be written in numeric, must be in number. You cannot write down daily. Okay, I put daily like this. No such thing. You write this, you don't get mark. Simple. You must write down 5. You must write down 3 like that. Next, you must show proper working steps. Okay, especially when calculating mean, variance, and standard deviations. And please be careful, try to give around 2 to 3 decimal place. And do not round off too big, which means you, out of 3 decimal place, you make it only 1 number, so it's wrong. Okay, and for histogram, frequency polygon, and ogive, to draw according to the accurate scale. So anything involving graph, okay, not only graph or functions, it's also your data like histogram, frequency, polygon, and ogive. Please use the given scale. They will always give you scale, okay? Alright. And I think that's all for today for your maths paper 1 and paper 2 tips. Don't forget to always do practice, because mathematics, I can wrap up everything in 2 simple things. Number 1 is time management. Number 2 is the technique of answering. Okay, so I just hope with these short sessions, I'll already shared some useful information where you can start to use it, or if you've been using it, congratulations, keep it up, and please keep practicing even though you're already pro, because maths is fun and we cannot live without maths. Okay, so anyways, Good luck in your SPM 2023.